agenda listed below, along with some recommended resources and the Pay It Forward project. We ask that you secure your seat today. Thank you, and see you on the inside.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another marketing strategy session where we talk about strategies that help grow your business. Today, I have Ryan Harrell on the line, and he's going to help us find out how to build your business online. And we're going to talk about a couple of other things like SEO. Does it really matter when it comes to building your business online? And secondly, if you're looking to sell your business in the future, what are some things that you can do? So, Ryan, welcome to the show.
Definitely. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
And Ryan is definitely an expert in this field. He has built and sold 5 businesses. He has over 60 awards. So he definitely is a man that knows his business in a sense. And I'm very excited personally to learn more about how you build your business online. And, you know, me being in the SEO space, I'm going to say SEO matters, but we're going to find out from Ryan if SEO really matters. So, Ryan, let's go ahead and get started. When you're starting a business and you are looking to grow it, what are some of the recommendations that you would give for building it online?
I think you always have to attack building your business online the same way that you would in the real world. Locate customers and try to pull them in. Customer acquisition has to be your #1 target. Bringing in new people with new money to spend with you on your services has to be your #1 priority whenever you're starting to build. So where are they at? How can I find them? How can I get them to spend money with me?
Okay. Now, with that, of course, when you're talking online, there are a few sources. There's referrals, there's direct, there's organic SEO or organic traffic, there's paid traffic, there's social traffic. I mean, in your travels, what have you found effective?
Well, referral traffic's always going to be your highest converting, but you have to have some folks there to be able to convert over or to pull referrals from. Nowadays, you're going to have to pay. I mean, you have to pay to play, it seems. Whether you're social or search, but you have to have a good organic strategy too. So, I mean, I think, like when I give my small business seminars and I talk to folks and I tell them you got to do everything, they get all pissed off and they're like, well, you're supposed to tell me one thing, Ryan. You're supposed to give me that magic bullet. I'm like, well, you got to do everything. You got to put your hands in all the pots, and you don't have to be great at everything, but you definitely have to be present there. You have to have a good, a good strategy for talking to folks on social. Even if you're a small mom and pop and you don't like computers, you have to have a presence at least. You have to have some sort of retention plan, some sort of once you get them in the door, now how do we keep them coming back? I've done a lot of sessions with folks that use Groupon and they got all excited, but they didn't follow up. They didn't have people coming back. They didn't have a way to keep those people continually spending money that wasn't, going into other people's pockets. So, I mean, you have to look at everything. I don't know if there's any one way to kind of, attack it, unless you're going to say we're only online or not online at all. If you're going to position yourself in those two areas, and yeah, you're going to have to definitely determine which ones are the best. But if you're selling widgets and you'll sell them locally and you'll sell them online, you'll sell them whoever buy them, then you kind of have to be everywhere.
Okay.
Omnipresence, right?
Yeah. What I found has been with the search engines allows you to see the broad picture as far as how many people are searching for what you offer and so forth, the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Social allows you to actually see the need, because as you get in social, you start to see what they're talking about, what their interests are, what their needs are, and so you get to a little bit of insight on the actual personas versus the bigger picture, because the bigger picture is just going to give you mass numbers. So that's at least what I found in marketing.
Well, like they always say, look out for your seagulls. When you're getting close to land, you start seeing seagulls, and the more seagulls that you start to see, the closer and closer you're getting to land. So you have to pay attention to those triggers. What are people saying when they're saying, like when you're talking about finding that pain or finding what people are actually needing socially. What are they saying? Like, how are they getting around to it? Sure, something's more expensive, but are they saying it in such a way that it's just, maybe if you financed it, then it would be a better option for them? You don't always have to drop the price, or if you gave them something extra, or you watched their kids while they were getting it done. Is there something else that you can give them to kind of to kind of help them? I think that's really important. I talk to a lot of folks who listen to people's issues and try to address needs that they hear on social media, and that's something you got to definitely pay attention for.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now, we talked a little bit about SEO, so let's dive into it. With your business, what concerns should you have around SEO, or does it matter at all?
Well, 3 of the companies I sold were actually search engine web design companies, marketing firms, and so that's what we did for companies both locally and nationally. And one of our largest SEO clients that we've ever had, they just sold last year, right before I sold my interest in my company. They sold their company to a very large biotech firm, and that the guy who ran that was very interested in one specific keyword, and so we had to optimize every single property that he had for a very specific keyword for his business. But whenever we started looking at the analytics and where traffic was coming from and how people were buying, that wasn't how people were finding him. That wasn't the thing that was driving his revenue. It was more of like I just want to be found for this word because I'm in this space,
Yeah.
And so SEO wise, we always tried to come up with a plan to say, I know you really want to come up for these words, but let's put these on like our second or third tier, like our would be nice to rank for words, and then let's look at which words are actually driving revenue, because customer acquisition and acquiring dollars is the most important thing, or should be the most important thing to you. Vanity keywords that just make you feel good, those should be second or third. So coming up with those keywords that you can kind of attack first and get a good foothold in, and then starting to attack the second and third levels is how we've always kind of strategized things. And that's just through good content marketing, just creation of good content, whether it's socially or secondary sites that link back, or then directly on your site. Just creating that content, making sure that's good, making sure it's relevant, make sure that it's not too clouded with keywords. You don't want to say marketing 500 times, things like that. So just your overall basics.
Yeah, that's good advice. A lot of times you sit and you talk with those in the know, I guess you would call them, and they sit around the boardroom and they say, these are the keywords we want, and it's words that are brand specific, very vain, jargon. Only the people in that room may know what it means, or there's no research behind it. There's no reasoning to say there's this many people that are searching for it, and because of it, they're searching in this particular intent. Now that's a big thing, intent. Just because you're searching for a keyword does not mean you intend to take an action that the business may want. So positioning in that way helps that SEO, which helps drive the traffic, grow the business, get the numbers, whatever you're using those numbers for, whether it's sales or to show if you're looking to get acquired, to show the growth of the company and things of that nature.
For sure. Actually, that keyword that I was referring to earlier, we did some studies, and once we got it ranking, most of the traffic, the time on site was through the roof. And I'm thinking, wow, man, this guy, okay, maybe once he's ranking, top 1 and 2 in the world for it, maybe he was on to something, but nothing led to sales. It all was just lots of time on site, jumping back and forth from page to page, checking things out, and it was just a research term. people in the industry and people that were looking up that particular term. It was actually an ingredient for his cream. When they found the site, they were just researching the term. So we had so much great information about it because we were trying to rank for it that we became a wealth of knowledge for it. But it didn't give us any sales. That wasn't what people were. They were just going there to find out more about it. They weren't going there to actually buy it. So look where you can sell and what keywords you think are going to convert the best, and those are the ones you really need to put your time into. So,
thanks, Ryan, for helping the competitor. Because I'm sure a lot of them were competitors like, oh, that is great information. Let's look at their stuff.
Yeah, and they're like, time on site. What? That's awesome. Look how long they're spending. And I'm thinking like, hey, are they coming? Are they submitting a contact form? Is there a trigger? I mean, are we purchasing something? Because they can hang out on the site all day. I mean, people come over to your house and hang out and eat your food all day. But I mean, are they helping you clean up afterwards? You gotta kind of think about where this traffic is leading to, and is it something that's really, is it kind of traffic you really want to have?
Yeah, and that's really what you were saying before, having a blended marketing plan. That marketing plan takes them from one medium that brings them in, or one vehicle that brings them in, and then based off of that, you actually have a plan to push them through a path or a funnel. So that may be they come in through search, and then they are now they subscribe to a newsletter, so they're on your email campaign, or maybe they subscribe to one of your social profiles, and now they follow you that way. Mm-hmm. But everything is basically pushing them toward the one common goal at the end. So that's very important to note. And so the question of, does SEO matter? Yes, it matters, but how it matters is what you should ask yourself.
For sure. I mean, I'm an investor in a few businesses, and one of them is a tattoo shop here in my local hometown. We're close by a military base. That makes sense. And so one thing that we found is reviews and Google Local is what drives us. When our ranking was top 1-2 for tattoos in Fayetteville, we didn't really see anything. But when our reviews and our Google Local was really popping, that is when we started to see an influx in traffic. We've actually had people come in and say, you had more reviews than anybody else, so obviously more people are coming here, so we want to come here too. So being number one for a specific search term locally didn't do us much, but as soon as we started getting our reviews up and get our reputation management at a better position, then that's when we actually seen numbers jump. So I think you just kind of have to know your market and know what you're selling and what people are wanting, and then jump all over it.
Yeah, great advice. Now we're coming to the acquisition portion. Mm-hmm. What are some things that these companies look for, or investors look for, when it comes time to put your business up for sale, in a sense?
They look for like where you're positioned, like who is this that I'm looking at in my space? Is this going to be a talent acquisition? Am I taking this company over for the people that are in it? Most of the time, they want to take it over for your customer list. They want your dollars. They think they can convert that into more sales with their company. It's a PR splash. It's a talent acquisition. But more importantly, it's how can I convert these customers into my customers. So if you've kept a good customer database that you've continually kept up with, that you've called out, and you can go to them and say, hey, for real, I have, these are the folks I contact on a regular basis. Look, you can put your hands on X amount of customers. You can market directly your services to this amount of customers. Here's phone numbers. Here's email addresses. Here's addresses. Now you have a direct way to contact these folks, whether it's direct mail, sales letters, email newsletters, socially. That's what folks are really looking for. And obviously, are you profitable? Because if you're profitable, then they're like, oh, money's coming in. I can maximize the list that these guys have, the customer base that they currently have. And every company thinks they can do it better. So they look at you and they think, okay, I see what he's doing. but I can do it better. If I was to take this, if I was to do that, wheels start turning, gears start spinning, and then that's kind of when acquisitions start moving forward. When people start looking, and if you're doing your stuff right, I mean, if you're attacking your your market the right way and you're making a splash, you're going to get looked at as an acquisition target from the bigger folks. The last company I just sold, we are constantly looking at smaller firms coming up and saying, okay, who's this? Is this a good talent, acquisition? Who's in the company? 2 or 3 people. We can handle 2 or 3 people if they're doing it right. They can't be making that much money, but they position themselves right. So we started looking to do kind of like a talent acquisition, just taking them over. It's a PR splash for us, and we've retained some good folks. So I mean, it's there's always an opportunity there, and you don't have to. I guess you got to kind of look at yourself to say, do I want to work for someone else, or do I want to always work for myself? Because a lot of people are employpreneurs. I mean, they're employees for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really look to grow the company and to make tons of money. They just want a job for themselves because they don't want to work for somebody else. And when it all comes down to it, they're not really looking to get into business for themselves to grow and grow and grow. So maybe an acquisition from another company is worth it. So.
Okay, that makes sense. Great advice, great advice. So we're coming up on the end, and I'd like to thank you once again for the advice.
Sure.
I noticed that you have a Newton jersey up. When you going to give him back? We need him here in Atlanta.
Yeah, he's never going back. We're going to keep him forever. No, he's a great talent. I've been a season ticket holder for some time, and I'm a huge Panthers fan. And hopefully, he'll stick around. We got another couple years where even if we don't re-sign him, we can kind of hold him hostage through those extensions and franchise tags and stuff like that. So, but hopefully he'll sign a deal and we'll be able to keep him.
He needs to come home. He needs to come home.
I always have conversations with friends, and I say, we're playing Atlanta at home. This is going to be a tough game because those Atlanta fans are rowdy, man. They get up here and they want to talk so much junk. So, yeah, I know it's a big game for him. It's always a big game for us being in conference. So, hopefully we'll both do well. We'll just do better.
Hopefully. And I was so surprised, when y'all let go of Smith. That was a very surprising move, being that he's still the man. I mean,
yeah, he put some good numbers up, but I think it was just he gets to a locker room and you got that one guy that's kind of causing issues and a little tough to deal with, and they said maybe we'd be better without this guy, So,
yeah.
But talent-wise, you can't deny. I mean, he was, for his size and for what he had athleticism-wise. I mean, he done a lot with it. He was able to make a lot happen. I'll tell you what, when he come out that tunnel, every game I never missed an opening ceremony where they announced the offense, because when he come out that tunnel, the place just went crazy. So.
Wow. Well, next time we have to get together. Next time we play each other.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't mind going down to Atlanta to check out the Panthers play. I don't know if I'd wear my jersey. I might get beat up.
Hey, but, we protect the dome. We definitely protect the dome. But, let's get it before 2017. Once that new dome comes into play, the ticket prices, what they're talking, have definitely went up.
Oh, sure.
Definitely. But it'll be a great experience. I definitely plan on at least going to experience it. But yeah, we had to get together. I have a few Panthers fans up there that we keep in touch once the game comes on, and I have to bleed red and black. But
well, that's good, man. That's good. I really appreciate you having me on to talk about this. If anybody wants to contact me directly, they can. I'm very easy to find on Google and all the social networks. Just remember to be relevant and keep your reviews and your brand in front of people's faces, because if people don't know about you, that's your own fault.
Yeah, yes, and we'll definitely have Ryan's information in the show notes for you to contact him, because if you're really looking at moving forward, who better to have than somebody that's done it right 5 times? So who better to have in your corner? So once again, I'd like to thank everyone for being on the show, listening to the show. Hopefully you learned a lot, and hopefully we added value to you and your business.
Thank you for attending this marketing strategy session. We hope that you gained some valuable insights. Below, we have some resources that can help you put these marketing strategies into action. As always, we welcome your feedback and encourage you to reach out if you need additional assistance.